Hi, intrepid viewers, checking in on you. How are you coping with these last excruciating few days as Biden seems to limp towards this victory that's so essential for America and the world? I just want to reassure you, because I've had a lot of comments and emails, I'm not going anywhere. This is going to play out, not only over the next few months, but over the next 4 years. And hopefully in that time, America will actually reinvent itself, because you know what? 70 million people voted for this cretinous, belligerent, we use the term in Australia, wanker. I hope that gets through the YouTube thing. I don't think Google Translate can really do justice to the term. But no, the Yeti, his days are numbered. But I want to look at today how Biden's going to cope from now till the 20th of January and how the Yeti's going to cope. And then we'll have a quick look at Putin. What is he going to do next? So we've still got massive amounts to cover. Now, here we go. Let's just launch into it. And thank you guys for joining us, Dave from Moonride and myself, for the live feed. It was such a buzz to do it and interact with you guys. We had a great time. Okay, so now we're off and running with Biden between now and January 20, because he's in a really awkward position, because with the Senate still undecided, and it won't be decided until you have the runoffs. Civics in America, no wonder people have stopped teaching it or learning it. It's so needlessly complex. It's like, I don't know, they made it as complicated a system as you possibly can have. Anyway, let's have a look at Joe, the teddy bear of America. He had a role to fulfill, which was reassuring enough people that he would be a steady hand on the tiller. And he did get more votes than any other president ever. Wouldn't the Yeti hate that? Okay, so let's have a look at Joe Biden. Joe. Oh, the star of USA. Yes, well, I'm not surprised. Okay, so bang in the middle, my card for the USA. Hope and inspiration in the form of the star, and in his own quiet way, he has been a star, but this is my USA card, right? Yes, he will be victorious, but he has to evaluate his situation because of all the compromises. And of course, there'll be challenges and attempts to rip off, but it won't be enough. But he'll be evaluating just how much he and his team can and can't do in this next few months. This is the card of nostalgia. Perhaps that's looking back on the days when America was a working democracy. Because at the moment, I mean, what I haven't understood through all this, intrepid viewers, I have to share this with you as an Australian. How can it be this crazy that many million people can be so deluded about this crummy con man? I just don't understand. I can understand how 20 million people were deluded, but there's a lot more than that. So this is looking back. I think people will digest this in stages. So there'll be those who have been Dem supporters throughout. There'll be those reluctant Republicans, probably mostly women, who did bring themselves to vote for Biden. But there'll be a nostalgia coming on. The astrology shifting and changing too. And so I think people will see things in a clearer light as things move forward. Of course, he has to expect more challenges. We do too. But don't you love it? I woke up this morning and the first thing in my news feed wasn't what's happening in these contested states. It was about Steve Bannon, who, look, this guy, he's born in the wrong era. You know, he's a total medievalist. And so he said that Fauci and Christopher Wray should be beheaded and he'd put their heads on a pike. What happened though? His lawyers have walked away. I love that. Love that. So he's up on fraud charges. Remember, they had people donating for the stupid wall, and so people did put money up. And then Steve Bannon and a mate, I can't remember who the other person was, maybe you can tell me, basically ran off with the money. I think it could be speaking to Bannon here too, as well as the attempts, you know, to breathe life into the rigor mortis that is the American democratic system. All right, I think it's all those things. Page of Pentacles. I think this is youth engagement with Biden. Now, the youth on the one hand loved Bernie and reluctantly supported Biden, but there's something coming through between now and January 20th involving young people. And it could be the younger Dems, it could be the Pete Buttigieg's, the AOCs and stuff. They're going to have stand-up, drag-out fights about the future of the party, but the younger voices will come through, right? So that will be okay. Let me put those cards back and we'll have a look at the Yeti. Actually, I might use the Russian cards for the Yeti. Why don't I do that? All right. These are the 12-chair tarot decks designed by a Russian artist. And they're particularly good when dealing with sinister and corrupt people. So first of all, Trump between now and January 20. Trump. What's the Yeti going to do? It must be sinking in. Goodness. Okay. Love that. I'll do a 5-carder for him. Oh, yes. Okay. So here we have the Yeti and his henchmen. Basically, this is the offer that you do not want. So, in other words, he's got 2 to 3 months left of being the big man in the big chair. But I don't know that he's going to make it all the way, actually, to January 20. I'll save that reading for next time. But this is psychologically moving away. He's very depressed, right? And one shouldn't exult in the afflictions of others, but sometimes, you know what? Exactly. Right. Okay. So underneath this, the 9 of Pentacles. He's never been a big sleeper, and this is someone who's just catching sleep on the fly, not settled, not comfortable. He's now a lame duck president. The 7 of Cups, which is the card of illusion and delusion in the general decks. But in this, I think he's going to revert to type. I think he's going to actually, I think once he gets over this initial depression, he'll try and retreat into Adderall and sex and the other feel-good things that he is used to. I think it's he hasn't got a deeper sense of anything, so he's going to go on reflex. And I think there's going to be a woman who will offer him some degree of comfort, in inverted commas. I do hope she's of legal age, Yeti. I doubt this is Melania. The more we know about Melania, the more repulsive she is, but that's another story. And then we have, over the top of the Yeti's reading from now to January, this is the scheming going on. This is the Three of Chalices, the Three of Cups, group work. This will be those in his inner circle who will be fighting each other. There'll be those who'll be leaving, and there'll be those who want to stay on side and milk it to the end, like the Giulianis and people. These are the bad actors and bad advisors, I would suggest, but it's unfinished business. And I would go as far as to say unfinished legal business. He then gets the Ace of Cups. All his emotions are bound up in this experience, and he's going to become less emotionally stable by the day. And he didn't start off from a very strong position of emotional maturity. So this is going to get a little bit crazier. Let me just do a clarifier or two with the Rider-Waite's for Trump between now and January. Yeah, all his investment, emotional investment, is now in this one pot, which is these 2 months. So I need to go a bit further. What's he going to do? Legal cases, insists that he won't. Oh, he's actually that deluded. He's actually that deluded. So the sword of truth next to the victory. So this is saying 2 things. It's finally dawning on him. This is known colloquially in the trade, intrepid viewers, as the cutting through the card. I thought when I first saw it, he still thinks he's the leader. It could be that, but I think it's more coming to grips with the reality that he's not the leader. I don't think he'll necessarily be as bad as we think. This is the Knight of Wands, the cautious knight. I think he knows he's been declawed and defanged, and so we'll see the tweets and we'll hear the bluster, but I don't think he feels it. He doesn't know what to do next, go forward or back. It's a rocking horse motion. And he is a Gemini, so he's split anyway between, I'll fight to the end and I'll prove I'm the winner and it's all over and where do I go? And I think he's wrestling with that on a daily basis. So we'll keep an eagle eye on that. The other news, before I move to Putin, everybody, is I will be once again starting personal readings soon. So I'll get back to you on that. I'll get back to you in the next week or so when I'm starting again. I'm actually on top of the readings at the moment, a few more to go, and then I'll let you know when I'm opening the books. Okay, so Putin. Russian television apparently said the choice between Trump and Biden was bad and very bad. Now that's interesting. Not that they consider Biden very bad, but they already consider Trump bad. He's given everything to Putin. He's given Syria to Putin. He's basically gone along with destabilizing the Middle East for the next 50 years by withdrawing troops prematurely. Not that I think they shouldn't be brought out, but remember when he was campaigning, he said, I'm not going to tell everyone what I'm going to do. Well, he did and he does, and pay the price. Okay, so Putin, what does Putin think of this election? What does Putin think of this election? The Biden presidency. Putin's not happy. And he's not happy Well, he hasn't been happy with the Yeti for a long time. Okay, so Putin's feeling a bit strung out and strung up at the moment, the Hanged Man card, right? A, because the election's still not finalised, but B, he knows he's had a glorious run with the Yeti, who he could just ring up and say, do this and do that. And that's over. So he has to regroup and think. He's not happy about this. 9 of Swords. And that's because the American story is only part of what's troubling him. Don't forget, Russia has a big COVID issue. Are they dealing with it? That'd be no. They're spending all the money of a not big economy on the military, and people are starting to wake up to that. He has threats from within. Now, this is a very dissolute card, or quite a debauched card. Putin's not feeling good, and he doesn't know what to do next. That's unusual for him. He's normally a man with a plan, and he's feeling, I think this American election has just pushed it all into the too hard basket. He's not coping. He has hidden agendas, the High Priestess, secret meetings, secret dealings, but he doesn't know who to trust. And this is the problem. When you're a paranoid tyrant, you don't know who to trust. And this is what is exhausting him. He thought he could bully and coerce and keep, you know, the generals and the oligarchs on side, but that's been fragmenting. And I said, about 2 years ago, I said at least 2 years from then. So about now and the next 12 months, Putin's in a high-risk zone. He then gets the Four of Wands. He can't afford to be absent from his own people at this time. He can't afford this to be known, whether that's drinking too much or maybe he's into the antidepressants, who knows? YouTube, entertainment. He can't stay in this state, and yet he feels frozen in it, right? But his political instincts are saying, get out, get going, reinvent yourself. And this will be, he'll talk about bread and circuses. He'll try and buy the Russian people off with some infrastructure plan or something major. This is symbolic, cutting the ribbon to a new project. Of saying, aren't we marvellous? It's probably a new ballistic warhead or something fabulous that the world needs. Right, so he's going to disguise what he's feeling by doing that, trying to buy people back, right? Is it going to work? I doubt that very much. So, intrepid ones, I've got to go, you've got to go, but we'll reconvene really soon. So Biden's past's not easy. It won't be easy in the next few months, but he has a fantastic team and I think they're up for it. And I'm hoping we'll get a bit more grunt out of the Dems once the decision's final. Please pray. Okay, great to see you. Don't forget the thumbs up, and I'm looking forward to those comments. So let me know how you're feeling, and it's good for you to support each other in the forum. So take care, and I'll see you real soon. Ciao for now.